Two Hawaii Dads podcast. Always a 50-50 chance of getting kicked out of the stands at a Little League game.
It is the Two Hawaii Dads podcast. What's up, Josh?
Whoa, look at how excited I am. My headphones are right off my fat noggin.
As soon as we start the show, we already having issues.
I know, what a way to start. I'm so excited because we're back. We're back.
We are back.
Another week.
Once again with another episode of the Two Hawaii Dads podcast, and we are doing it both on the audio version as we always have, but we've continued to let you guys know that we're doing a video version as well. So make sure you go to the website. Just tell them where to find it online.
TwoHawaiiDads.com. Go check out, people say we have faces for radio, and this is definitely the evidence. We are Exhibit A when it comes to faces for radio. Oh, there's my bell.
There you go. And I've been thinking about this. We've been doing this virtual thing for a while, and it's working out, and we're getting the video thing going. But you know what? The bars are open, and we're going to talk about that later on in the show. But the bars are open, and we've had this show broadcast from many bars here in Honolulu, and we got to get back to it, my friend.
We do. We need to get back. We need to get back to our people, our peeps. We need to get back out there in action. I'm very excited. It's just I just hope this COVID stops being a freaking dark cloud on everybody.
I don't think it's gonna go away. It's more like managing the situation. You know what I mean? Because there's gonna be the bumps in the valleys, and there's gonna be rises and falls. It's more about making sure you wash your hands, making sure you mask up, making sure you practice your social distancing, but you still got to live your life. That's what I'm remembering these days. Is like you still got to get out. My kid needs to go to Fun Factory, and Fun Factory is open. They're back open. By the time this episode airs, Fun Factory is back open.
That very interesting. I'm 50-50, but I got to be honest, 50-50 on getting out there, having fun. But there's going to be guys shooting the pop a shot, coughing, and then they're just shooting the ball. So.
I completely agree, but
I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things that you let the first weekend go, see how it goes. You know what I mean? Get the bugs out.
Yep. I don't think my kid's going to wait a week, though. My kid already knows that Dave & Buster's opens on Friday. My kid already knows that it's all coming back because I made the mistake of telling her.
Cat's out the bag.
Yeah, cat's out the bag. So and she knows playgrounds are opening back up too. So this weekend, or by the time we get to this on the air, the past weekend will have been a very eventful weekend because everything's back open for the kids. So not only is it Father's Day, but the grand reopening of everything.
Is it you gonna do a BYOS? Bring your own sanitizer to the community park slide?
You kind of already have to. That's a good point. You know, like you're going to have to bring the wipes or the spray or something. You never know. I mean, it's just we're going to probably play it by ear. Oh, what I forgot to do and what we do need to do so early in the show because we keep forgetting it, my friend. We have another special guest this week.
Ooh, very special guest. We got Taz Vegas coming on, and he's going to discuss a whole bunch of things that actually I don't know if it's like it just happened. We're like a day in when we're recording about the news, live music. I hate the word ban. I don't know that word ban, B-A-N, is going around. I just think it sounds bad.
Yeah, it's not a ban. It's just they're trying to protect people, and you can hate on the government for wanting to protect the citizens, but when you got a bunch of donkeys that live out here and they don't know how to take care of themselves, sometimes you got to rely on people with cooler heads. But I get that it may be a little too far because, they're talking about you can't have live music in restaurants or in clubs or stuff like that right now, but you can go to church and the church choir can get up there and sing during the service.
Right. It's very weird. It's funny that you bring up the church choir. That was like one of the reasons Uncle Kirk's used initially as a how come we're doing this? There was a church choir, and then
because there were cases.
New word. Are you ready? Super spreader.
It's not that's not a new word. I've been familiar with that word for at least 2 months now because that's something that's been going around, and it is a thing because when you sing, you spit out a lot of spit, and it gets out into the air. My point is knowing what the challenge is, knowing what's going on, and now that we've had a few months of dealing with this, why can't you just get a plexiglass kind of separator? Why can't you find a way to properly socially distance? Why can't we set up some fans and get a circulation going so that the fan is blowing the air past the performer outside of a doorway so any of that spit is going away from the crowd?
You know why? Because it's too easy and it makes sense.
I know how that works. If it makes sense and it sounds like it's the right thing to do, they're never going to do it.
Right. So we got Taz. He's going to come up later and we're going to actually pick his brain because he very well, out of the three of us, he's the only one that can play music.
I was going to say he's the actual musician. I can play music poorly. I don't know about you, but I can strum an ukulele. I just can't do it with any talent. Taz Vegas, on the other hand, that dude's got talent.
Yeah, see, I can't play music. I can play music on the radio, as you used to do. So he's coming up, but Barat, your jobby job, a little hey.
Oh, that is the thing.
What is up in your neck of the woods, my friend?
For those of you that don't know, the day job is at the daily newspaper, and they're trying
the only newspaper.
No, there's more than one newspaper.
On
Oahu. Oh, no, that's not true either. There's Midweek. It's a weekly paper, and it's kind of newsy, but that's a weekly paper. We are the only daily newspaper on Oahu. That is the way to put it, because there used to be two. The greatest newspaper in Hawaii, the Honolulu Star Bulletin, and the Honolulu Advertiser used to be around before, and now it's the Honolulu Star Advertiser. But anyways, that's the thing is just a few years ago, we lost about 25% of our newsroom, and we're about to lose another half. We've got about 60 people in the newsroom right now, and the newspaper wants to get rid of half of us. And if the community...
And what?
And yes, just buy pink slips. Some of the most talented people in the newsroom, some of our talented columnists, some of our most experienced photographers, and a bunch of our talented reporters are all about to lose their jobs. Now, I'm very, very blessed, very, very lucky, because I've done the same thing now for 20 years. And you know this because you're a union guy. When you work at a union job for 20 years, you start to rise up the ranks of the seniority list, right? So that's pretty much what it is, because they break it down by departments and stuff. I'm just lucky. I'm just one of the guys that has been lucky enough to stay above the fray. But the challenge is when you get rid of half of a newsroom in a working daily newspaper, then what? How do you put out a paper?
Okay, so for the listeners, why are they making these moves?
Oh, it's all about COVID-19. It's all about finances. They need to save money, and the issue is that again, the newsroom at the paper is a unionized newsroom, and the union has known for months that there are issues, and the union has been going to the paper and saying, "Hey, let's talk about it." And for a while, they were starting to talk to us, but then they were dragging their feet, and then eventually they cut off communication, and then the other shoe dropped where 31 people from the newsroom were going to get fired. And they're saying they got to cut costs, they got to save money, because like I've already been working a 32-hour work week in order to help save the company money. And now what they're trying to say is that's not enough. We got to get rid of even more people, and we're going to have to do even more cuts. So it's not a very good situation, but if you're out there and you're listening and you appreciate local news, you appreciate local reporting, you understand that a newspaper doesn't mean that you're just looking at news on a page, because it's on the internet, right? We got a website, we're doing all this stuff digitally. That's what's so hilarious, is that people sit there and go, oh, it's a print is dead, print is dying. Well, some of the best breaking original local reporting comes out of the daily newspaper, and it goes online before it even makes it into print. So if half of those bodies go away,
it sounds like when there's no communication, that's like a sign of, when everybody goes dark. That's a sign of something is, like, okay, so what?
I mean, same thing when you come home at the end of a hard day at work and you walk into the house and your girl just looks at you and just goes, and then walks away exactly. Something's up, something's going on. And that was kind of the thing.
Something's up when there's just like Simon boiling on top of the stove. Something is like, okay. So what about is there a effort to get the boss's attention?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. There's a campaign running, and if you watch the news lately, you might have seen this face for radio on the news, because they had me doing a couple of interviews. Yeah,
I saw that angle. I don't know about that angle though. You got to work on that angle.
Well, it's called What Works, and I want to make sure that I kind of showed off my artwork here in the house that I put up on the wall, but at the same time, it's more about, making sure you can't see all the junk and the dirty stuff around the house as well. So that was the angle that worked on the news.
It's a look that I rarely see. Aloha shirt, no hat. It's one of those looks I rarely see of you, Brad.
It's called professional. It's called dad life. That's when dad's got to put the big boy clothes on. Then that's what happens. Anyways, you're asking what can people do? Well, there's two things you can do.
Right.
You can send an email to the publisher, DFrancis, DFRANCIS, DFrancis at staradvertiser.com.
What does the D stand for?
Dennis Francis is the president and publisher at the Honolulu Star Advertiser, who still pays my paycheck, so I am not going to disparage that guy personally. Don't forget, you can email him, and you can go do whatever you want, but don't get me in trouble. Email him or give him a call at 529, I think it's 4702, or you can call 529-4700, which is the main switchboard, and ask to speak to the publisher. Right now, it's all about public perception. You know what I mean? And as long as more people are talking about it, more people are mentioning it. We have 4 former governors, Abercrombie, Waihee, Ariyoshi, and Cayetano. They've all voiced support. So that's what we need to do. We need to bang that drum and make sure that the Star Advertiser realizes you can't just get rid of all those journalists.
Well, forget those guys. I saw Russell Tenoy was going to drop his name in there. Forget those governors. Russell Tenoy was.
That's the thing is we've got a lot of movers and shakers around this island that have been doing us a favor and have been helping us out with what we're doing here at the newspaper. So thank you very much, guys, for everyone who has taken part in that so far. Brah. Ho.
Brah.
It's almost summertime.
Guess what time it is?
Summertime.
It's summertime.
You know how I know it's summertime?
That jam from Fresh Prince is timeless. I love that song.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. But I was gonna say, you know how I know it's summertime here in Hawaii? The termites. The clouds of termites start showing up around the streetlights at night. You know what I mean? We've had termites a couple of times.
That's good. You gotta lock up the house at that point because those they weasel their way into my house. I don't know how they do it, but it's like lights off, all lights off, and then we have one light, and then that's where we kill everyone.
Oh, it's like you're trying
they zap them.
It's like you're trying to avoid that one uncle that you didn't want coming over to the house, right? Like, oh, Uncle Kimo's coming over. Quick, turn off the lights, put a shades. Gotta act like we're not home. Same thing when the termites come.
It is bad. Yeah, that is definitely summertime. So, any plans?
Oh, I was going to ask you because you're the state employee. Well, it's the city that's doing daycare, but or summer fun. But have your boys are old enough? Have you ever done any of the city summer fun programs or anything that's offered by the government?
We have not enrolled the boys into a summer fun program. Usually, so far up to this year, we've been sending them to summer school for half of the summer, and then we freestyle to end the last half of July.
Gotcha.
But
which still costs money. It still costs money though, right? Sending them to summer school, you still got to spend money.
Oh yeah. Yes. And it's only half day, so you got to yank them at like noon. Not like summer fun, which I think at least till like 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Are you? But you work early enough though, where you can go out in the afternoons though and spend time with them during the summer, right?
Yeah, I paw 3 o'clock, and then it actually worked out good. At the time last year when we would me and the moms would work like separate schedule, so I would work day and she would work night, so we do the good old handoff and then just make it work from there. But as far as like summer fun, haven't tried it yet, and this year definitely not gonna happen. Even though it's free. Oh,
they were saying even though it's free, but they've got half the spaces than as they normally would during the summer because of all this social distancing. So instead of I think 10,000 kids they're going to be able to service, they're only going to be able to help like 5,000 this summer.
No, less than that. 3,600.
Wow.
3,600. I'm so my kids have a better chance to get into Kamehameha than to get into the summer fun this year because it's going to be crowded. Well, crowded sort of because they're only doing online. They're going to do it online registration only. So not like how it was years past where
stand in line.
Hang out at the park.
Yeah. It's not hang out. It's called show up the day before and sleep in line inside your chair while you're waiting for the doors to open the next day. That's crazy.
It's almost like how it was back in the day with Fitted, where everybody would camp out in the front and bring their chairs.
There you go.
Like a Fitted drop up at Makakil Rec Center.
All right, dad debate. The number one thing to do during the summer with your kids. Go.
Beach. Beach is number one because it's free.
Mall. You take them to the shopping mall. You can run the kid around. There's air conditioning so you can go in. You can still get a beverage if you want. And then if you need to go do some shopping at the supermarket, you can do that too and then take the kid home.
Oh, see, that's a lot of, that's like 4 or 5 steps ahead what I'm doing. I'm trying to just tire the kid out and take him home.
There you go. So if you're looking for,
because the chances are I'm going to spend money at the mall on unnecessary stuff that will not be necessary is very high compared to going to the beach, get them burnt and get them super tired.
Don't you got to go buy like shave ice after though and get spam musubis and make sure you got a cooler full of soda and then you got to put gas in the car. Still gonna have a little bit. So still got some expenses when you go to the beach.
Some cost, yeah, no, definitely. That's definitely free, not free.
There you go. But so the access is free.
Right.
Where do you go since you're a West Side rider? Where do you take the kids to the beach?
It's usually Colina, the easy, because I don't got my kids aren't John Florence yet, where they can just shred it up on the beach. They'll just Colina, the waves and whatnot. But the crappy thing about Colina right now is that the parking lots are closed.
That's what I heard. It's still private property, right? So they just decided, screw you, go away.
So they're like, oh, well, all this time Colina was open, the beaches were open. It's just that there's no parking to go there. But I did find out from my friend at work. She said there is parking, but you gotta go far past.
Oh, and then you gotta hike all the way back.
And you gotta hike it back inside.
Well, they're just trying to make it hard so that you don't want it.
It's packed.
Well, it was the same thing at Ala Moana Beach Park. I think we just drove by yesterday before dinner. We were going to, have a little picnic on the beach, but the Magic Island parking is closed, right? So we keep going all the way around. Yeah, they're doing construction, but we keep driving around. The entire park was full, and it looked like it was a Sunday afternoon on a Wednesday at 6 o'clock at night.
I hate those Sundays. Those Sundays are gnarly.
Oh, it's just a matter before you get some more of that Corona showing up as well, bro, with all these people sitting around each other. Speaking of sitting around, though, we have been sitting around for a little while here on the show because we're waiting for the right time. And you know what? The time is finally here. It's just about time to speak to the one and only Taz Vegas with the two Hawaii dads. Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to get you ready by playing one of the latest songs from Taz Vegas. It's the one that's on the radio right now, right?
It's the one coming up, Purple, featuring the F-I-J-I, Fiji.
Fiji Dog and Taz Vegas. You might hear that on FM 100, right? You guys are playing it these days with Jay Ire in the afternoon. There you go. We're going to hear more from Taz Vegas in just a little bit. But first, it's Coming Up Purple. That's up next right here on the Two Hawaii Dads podcast. Stick around.